How to get in killer shape, no bullshit guide. This video is in the title. If you don't want to get in killer shape, click off this video because it's purely a system and the method that I use personally and that I've used in the past to get in killer shape. And it's not got everything you're probably supposed to do in fitness. It's what I've done and implemented to get in the best shape possible. This is in the least amount of time possible. This is from this little guy to jacked, tanned, handsome, six-pack abs, as big as possible in the least amount of time possible. Killer shape. I mean, mogging everyone at the beach in shape. That's what I'm talking about. And this is a guide on how to do that. So boys, first step is you train like a fucking animal. This is literally a no bullshit guide. Everything in here, most of the things I do day to day anyway, so definitely implement them. But like I say, this is a quick guide. It's a no bullshit guide. A lot of the things in here aren't sustainable over a long period of time, but it's only for the guys that genuinely are just fed up of looking like shit and you want some sort of system that you can implement to get jacked and just be better than everyone, because that's what you want to do. You want to look better than everyone else. You want to be able to do this with your fucking chest, all right? You want six-pack abs. You want to look better than everyone at the gym. You want all the girls. You want all the attention. That's what you're going to get if you actually implement this. So the first thing you actually do is you train every major muscle group twice per week. Why do you do that? It's because the more you do it, the better you get. The same with anything. The more you train your muscles, the more it's going to grow. The more sets you're going to do, the more reps you're going to do, and it compounds and you get to your physique quicker. You have one rest day per week. Again, this is a no bullshit guide. If you want to have days off, that's cool, but you're not going to get in killer shape. The quicker you do it, the more reps you get in, the more days you put in with the right rest, of course, then you're going to get to that physique a lot quicker. And it compounds. Everything in this life compounds. The more you do something, the better you get at it. And it just goes in an upward spiral. Cardio 2 times per week. Yes, you want to be bulking. Yes, you want to be going to the gym as much as possible, but you don't want to lack in other areas. Like you don't want to get really bad heart health. All right, you don't want to be eating a shit ton of food, but then you're getting fucking organ failures and all this crap. Obviously, you're not going to get organ failures, but you just don't want to neglect your health. So it's super important to train cardio twice a week. And it's actually going to get you shredded in the process. And that's super important to get in that killer physique. 2 sets per muscle group. Why do I do 2 sets? And I train 2 sets all the time, regardless of whether I'm doing any sort of training. I'll do 2 sets. The reason for that is because that's all you need if you're training with intention to grow your muscle. And what that actually means, what's the actual meaning behind the intention, is that you're going all the way until failure. If you're not going till failure, you're not giving your muscles a reason to grow. And when you do give it a reason to grow, it's going to fucking grow. How complicated is that? But some people just don't get in shape because they're not. You can listen to all the advice in the world, but if you're not implementing it, nothing's going to fucking change. And that's what you got to do. You got to take action. So 2 sets per exercise. If you're doing bicep curls, you do 2 hard sets until failure. Because if you're not going till failure, your muscle's going to stay the same. It doesn't know to get bigger. You're putting tension on your muscle. You're telling it, look, we've got a lot of stress here. We're lifting heavy. We're doing loads of reps. We've got to be able to deal with this. By proxy, your muscles get bigger. That's how it works. So 2 sets. If you want to do 3, if you want to do 4, cool, you can do that. Are you going to see any more results than if you just did 2? Maybe, maybe not. But again, you want efficiency. And that is why I train 2 sets. So train with intention to grow. Otherwise, you're just wasting pointless time in the gym. Groups to make sure to train. Honestly, this is all personal preference. You can train what you want. But if you want to get that aesthetic physique, you need to train every muscle group. You need to train your shoulders. You need to train the front, the side, and the rear delt. Otherwise, you're not going to get that round effect. You want to train your chest, you want to train the bottom, and you want to train the top. I'm personally having struggles at the moment. I'm not training the top. I haven't trained the top as much as I should have in the past, so that's what I'm focusing on at the moment, because you can probably see from the side, like here, it sort of droops down. It's supposed to go all the way up instead of drooping over. So I want that full chest look. I want broader look. I'm doing traps more. I'm doing rear delts more, front delts. I'm trying to sculpt that physique. And that's why it's super important to do all muscle groups and not just get that saggy little nipple, right? So that's why it's super important to train every muscle so that it's more aesthetic and you just don't look like a weirdo. Eat like an animal. You're training like an animal, you've got to eat like an animal. You've got to give your body what it needs to grow. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. You can train all of the time, all of the days, all the sets in the world. But if you're not fueling that muscle growth, nothing will happen. You'll stay the same. And that's what I did. That's the mistake I made when I first started going to the gym. For the longest time, I would just train 6 days a week, but I wasn't fueling my muscles. So that's why I just didn't see as much results. That's what I wish I did. So if you can do that now, you can train today, you can go to the gym right now, you can put in the work, and you're going to see results as long as you're eating right. So fuel it. Eat like an animal too. If you train like an animal, you got to eat like an animal. You can't just train like an animal and then just eat like an average diet. No, you got to eat and you got to know what you're putting in your body to fuel that. So super important. Lean bulk. All right, this is what we're at. So if you watching this, you're fat. You don't need to bulk. You should be cutting. You cut until you can see your abs, until they're somewhat visible, okay? 8%, 10% body fat, right? Where you're going to start seeing your abs. And then from there, that's the only excuse you have to go into a calorie surplus. If you're skinny, obviously you just bulk. 300, maybe even 500 calories a day if you're super skinny. If you're, I don't know, skinny fat, you always get rid of the fat first. If you're skinny fat, that basically means you're fat. You've got a tummy. You can't see your abs. You cut until you can see your abs, and then you start giving your body more of what it needs to grow. To grow, your body needs calories, one, so you need to be in a very, very slight surplus. Only 300 calories is perfect. And protein. You need protein to build your muscle. That's all a bulk is. That's all a surplus is giving your body excess to grow. Excess energy so that you can fuel your workouts, and also the protein to build the muscle. Carbs for training. You can, if you're very cautious about it and you're careful planning it, just have carbs before or after a workout. It's going to help a little bit more to fuel that workout so you feel that energy. Protein, 2 grams per kg of body weight. Let's say I'm 60 kg, right? I'm actually 64, all right? 60 kg. If I want to grow and I want to build muscle, I need 120 grams of protein per day. They say 1.8 to 2.2 grams. So that's in the middle, 2 grams. If you want to do a bit more, you want to do 2.2, great, have more protein. You're more likely you are going to get more protein anyway because you're trying to. And that's fine. More protein, more gains. All right. Just don't eat too many calories because you'll get fat. When you're tracking, and this is a little trick I use with my clients, use ChatGPT, use an AI to track it. You can literally just grab your phone, take a picture of your food throughout the day, end of the day, put it into the AI. It's going to give you an estimate, like a high or low estimate of how much food that is on your plate. And then it will calculate it all for you. Obviously, if you know the macros, put it in, tell it exactly what it is. But if not, you can get a rough idea. And it takes 2 seconds. There's no excuse for not tracking your food. You can track your food now. It would take like 10 seconds, but people are just lazy. If you want to guarantee results, I recommend you track. It's just going to give you leeway, and there's going to be there's no slack. There's nothing. There's no excuse to say why you haven't hit your macros. You know you've hit your macros, and that's it. Supplements. Now, this is a big one. This is going to help your testosterone shoot through the fucking roof. These are some must-haves. Zinc, 15 milligrams. You can go up to about 40, but I just recommend 15 because I don't know what it does to your body if not. Magnesium, you can go up to 400 grams. Maybe you want about 200 milligrams. Do your own research. I'm not a fucking doctor, and I cannot prescribe you anything. This is just advice, all right? This is just disclaimer right here. Don't listen to me, but listen to me because I'm going to get you jacked. And vitamin D. What they will tell you is that 10,000 IUs, that's so much. No, it's not. Look at this, 10,000 IUs here, and here, this one's like, what, 1,000 IUs? That's ridiculous. If you're taking that, nothing's going to fucking happen. You need 10,000. You need to max it out. Go in the sun. The sun's better source of vitamin D. However, if you're in a country that you don't get a lot of sun, then you got to be taking vitamin D. These three are essential for your testosterone. Higher free testosterone or testosterone, more likely you're going to build more muscle. You become more manly. You grow more fucking hair on your bollocks. You'll get more muscle growth. You'll get more oomph in your workouts. You'll just want to conquer the world. And that's why it's super important to make sure your testosterone's on point. I've got another video on that if you want to check it out. An in-depth guide to maxing your test. It's going to help in life. It's going to help you get towards your mission in life, your goals. It's got to be done. Recovery is super important as well. This is the most important thing, recovery. And I'll get a bit more into that after this slide, but recovery supplement, you can take something like ashwagandha. That's what I take personally. It's right here, actually. I take ashwagandha. It's 500 milligrams. Actually, no, it's 600 milligrams. And I take this every evening. I take it late afternoon, so it doesn't affect my morning, because it does make you a little bit tired. It makes you tired, and it's going to help with recovery, and it's just going to make you feel relaxed. But that's what it helps me with, so I'm not jumping all over the place, because you know how it can be, right? Tonga Ali, Shilajit, and Phytogen Aggressors, these are just similar sort of things that are going to increase your testosterone. You can take one, you can take two. I take 3 back in the day when I was first bulking, but you know, they're not mandatory. You don't need them, but it's going to help a little bit. So that's just if it works for you. Again, I've tried all of these, but ashwagandha works for me. I don't notice anything with any of the others. Creatine, something else you can take. The thing is, with the supplements, it only matters if you can see results. If you're not seeing that much physical results, what's the point? You might as well just scrap it off, get a clean, healthy diet, and it will all come from that. The majority of it comes from that anyway. This is just to get the stuff that you cannot get in from your diet. And that's super important to understand. Creatine, you can't get as much from meat, and it's going to help with recovery. It's going to help with performance in the gym. So you can take that super cheap as well. You can get this stuff for like, I don't know, maybe like $20 for a month, or maybe it'll last you 2 months. I don't know. Mine lasts me literally forever. It's like £15, but that's it. That's all the supplements you need to see results and get in killer shape. Increase your test. All right. Some other things you can do to increase your testosterone. No fap. You guys probably struggle with this. I struggle with this too. We're all guys. We're all humans. It's just a normal thing. I can probably go for about a week, maybe sometimes 2 weeks without fapping, without ejaculating. And that's where it happens. That's where the test comes from. Down there, deep down under. So if you can go for a week, you'll notice physical changes. You'll notice mental changes. And you're just going to get that urge. You're just going to get that drive. And so much knowledge comes from down there as well. That's where you get infinite knowledge. So the more you build it up, you're going to notice after about a week, you're going to feel a lot more testosterone coming through. So no alcohol, it depletes testosterone. Sugar also depletes testosterone. When you bulk, do not bulk with sugar. You bulk with potatoes, you bulk with rice. You don't bulk with sugar. Stay away from using any sort of plastic, microplastics. That's just a bit more in depth. Okay. You can use things like this. Is it good? Is it not good? I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but stay away from the plastic. Things like those cheap plastic bottles that are just like bought and then thrown away. They're the ones that are going to have lots of microplastics on the lid. You're putting that in your mouth. You're licking your lips all over it. All right. You don't want to have microplastics. It depletes testosterone. It gets into your bollocks. It gets into your organs. Stay away from that. But do your own research as well. Stop hanging around with low test people. Get around other killers. Get around other guys that are in the gym building a bunch of muscle. If you want some sort of group and you're struggling to get around people, give me a message. I have a group. I have a coaching group, and we're all killing it. We're all maxing out our test, getting in the gym, helping each other improve in life. So if you need some sort of group and maybe your test isn't high, maybe you want help with that, or even if you just want my fitness coaching, you get all of it within that. So give me a message. You know where to find me. Recovery, sauna, ice baths. All right, recovery is the most important thing as well. You can do all the training in the world, but if you're not recovering properly, your body's going to start fatiguing. You're not going to build muscle as effectively. Sauna, ice bath, something you can do to also increase your testosterone. Don't do saunas too much. I did one last night. I do one maybe like once a week, twice a week sometimes, but just be careful on that. Ice baths, you can do as much as you want. Nice ice plunge. It's going to help with recovery, and it's going to help with your health as well. No sugar. Sugar, it just depletes testosterone. If you're going to have sugar, have it before a workout or after a workout to give your body what it needs to sustain its energy levels pretty much. But other than that, you don't want to be eating sugar. It's bad for you. The people that run this world, they want you to be eating all this sugar. They do. They want you weak. They want you soft. That's what they will shove in your face all of the time. Just remember that when you see sugar. What your diet needs to look like effectively is meals like this. Eggs, brilliant for building muscle. Avocado, full of healthy fats. Salt, pepper on that. Spice it up a bit. People don't like eating it, but look, it's super healthy, and you can easily add some spices, add some herbs on that, and it's going to taste so good. Stay away from this. You don't really need it, only if you're struggling to get those calories in, but try and stick to meals like this. Steak, potatoes, greens, a bunch of greens, all right? If you think you're getting too many calories in, just cut down on these. Have greens. That's all you need with the meat. The protein and a bit of greens, all right? If you're genuinely struggling, because I know a lot of guys struggle to lose weight, struggle with eating so much, just have beef and greens, fish and greens, chicken and greens, maybe a little bit of fat, maybe an egg or something, but you don't need all of this carbs, all right? Only if you're using it to fuel growth in your muscle, in your body, in your working day. Bonus tip, boys, you know how it is. 2 to 4 boiled eggs. If you're an OG, you know this. Poached. I have poached every morning. It's just another way to not have all of these seed oils on there, because a lot of places cook with seed oils. You want to stay away from that stuff. It's going to deplete your testosterone. It's bad for your health, causes inflammation. Anything cooking with seed oils, stay away from that stuff. Virgin olive oil, use that instead. Butter. But 2 to 4 boiled eggs before bed is going to skyrocket your testosterone. You're going to wake up rock solid. I kid you not. And you're just going to feel like conquering the world. So have them before bed. You're going to struggle to not touch your dick in the morning. And that's it. That's the only bonus tip you need. If you're struggling to gain weight, do that. If you want to see more growth, do that. But obviously, you want to focus on your recovery. 2 to 4 hours before bed, don't have dinner, because you need your food to digest, especially if you're on a cut. Don't be having food 4 hours before bed. Summary, boys, double of what you would normally do. That's basically what this is. And you will get double the results, if not triple the results, just by doing double the protein, double the intention to grow your muscle, double the focus, double the reps, double the strength, double the exercises, double the cardio, double the food, double everything. Just double down on everything. You do it more, you're going to get better quicker, and you'll see more results. If you want coaching, I offer one-to-one fitness coaching. I offer an elite mentorship. I offer group coaching. If you want any of those, shoot a message over to me. You can join, you can get started now. Within 6 months, you can make an amazing transformation like that. All you need is the knowledge, but a lot of you don't have the fucking bollocks, or you don't have the discipline. But there are things that you can implement. I kid you not, there's things that you can implement, put into place that makes it a hell of a lot easier. 10 times easier to go from here to here, just with some information, just with hanging around the right people, being told to get off your fucking ass and get to work. And that's pretty much what my coaching does. That's what my program does. It gets you off your fucking ass. It gets you into gear. It makes you double down. It makes you think to yourself, what the fuck am I doing? I need to get off my ass. I need to get in the gym. I need to commit to what I said I was going to commit to. You're just being fucking lazy. That's what most people struggle with. So if that's you and you genuinely need some sort of guidance, some advice, click the link below, book a call with me. You can work with me literally today. You're going to see results 10 times quicker. I'll see you guys in the next one.